because we're now into April. And in this month, well, actually until May 4th, so 34 days, Arsenal, Man City, and Liverpool all have to play 9 matches. Right. So today, later on today, City are playing Villa, Arsenal play Luton tomorrow, Liverpool and Sheffield, and then this weekend, they're all back again. And then, of course, all 3 of them are playing in Europe. Liverpool playing Atalanta in the Europa, and then we obviously know City, Madrid, and Arsenal and Bayern Munich. But this is, I feel like, where now we separate the boys from the men.
It's the running. It is the running.
It is hectic.
This is
I can't even keep up.
This is what happened last season. It was the final 9 games. Arsenal blew it.
Yeah.
City won 7 of their last 9 to clinch the title.
Insane. Well, so that's what I want to ask you, because for Arsenal and City, I'm just speaking about these two, but yeah, Arsenal got a point at the Etihad, but for me, I still think like City are the ones because they've done it before. They know how to do this.
Yes.
So looking ahead to some of Arsenal's tough games. So they, like I said, they have Brighton today. They got to play Villa this weekend. They got to play Wolves, Chelsea, and Spurs. And then, of course, still Bayern Munich. And then City have to play Villa, Spurs, Chelsea in the FA Cup final. But I think that will be a heavily rotated side and they'll probably still win. Maybe. Brighton and Wolves. So kind of similar. But I still think that City, like, they can't be tripping about this draw to Arsenal, like, whatsoever. Because I think they're still the team that can get it done.
Yes. Because I lean towards City. I think most people do because of the experience.
Yeah, and the bench.
And it just comes down to these 9 games,
it's
right?
So nuts.
Like, Arsenal were near perfect last season up until this point.
Yep.
So it's a similar thing that what was happening.
Yeah. So what's the difference now, though? Because I do think a lot of us have more faith in this Arsenal side from what we've seen.
They seem, okay, I would say they're playing a much more mature game.
Yeah.
Much more professional game. All the questions we had about do they need a striker and do they need a goal scorer have gone away because they can score by committee.
David Raya has the most clean sheets in the Premier League.
There was a goaltending controversy, goalkeeping controversy. That's completely gone. It is David Raya. He's the number 1, clearly.
Yeah.
The center back partnership has gotten better. You can argue they're probably the best in the Premier League at the moment. So they've gotten better. They've improved. But now you really have to prove that in this final 9. City win games when it matters the most.
Yeah.
Do Arsenal? We don't know yet.
Yeah.
Do Liverpool? Yes, they do. I believe Liverpool also won 7 of their last 9 last season. They weren't in the title race.
Yeah.
But they finished, I think, 5th, to get into Europa League. So you can't dismiss Liverpool. You definitely can't dismiss City. Now it's just the time for me to see if Arsenal can prove themselves as legit contenders.
Would getting knocked out of the Champions League to Bayern Munich kind of be beneficial for them? Because, I mean, it's only going to get tougher. Yeah. Not necessarily the competition's either going to be City or Madrid, and then, the final out of the other side of the 4, who knows? But just, it's going to be tougher in that, these players are going to be more tired. Could they have more injuries? They're getting deeper into this intense schedule.
Yeah.
There's kind of something inside me that's saying, you know what? If Arsenal want to win the Prem, maybe getting knocked, and obviously you don't go into that match losing, but if you do end up getting knocked out, that has to be your mentality. Be like, all right, guys, now we have to put everything.
But that's a massive blow.
It definitely is.
Because if you're looking at that tie, I think you'd lean towards Arsenal getting past Bayern Munich. And I think Arsenal probably feel that way too. If I'm Arsenal, if I'm in that camp and I'm Arteta, I believe that my team can beat pretty much any team in the world at the moment based on the way that they're playing. So I think that would be a huge blow to Arsenal if they got knocked out. And it's 2 fixtures thrown into the 9 that they have left in the Premier League. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It's obviously it's going to be taxing because you're playing your best team. There could be extra time involved. There could be injuries involved, but that's football. It is what it is. City won't complain about that. I mean, they won the treble last year. That wasn't an issue for them. Liverpool won't complain. I mean, if Liverpool get bounced from the Europa League, I think that would be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
But Arsenal getting bounced to the Champions League might be a big blow to them, especially to, how they feel about themselves.
Yeah, of course. It's just one of those things where it's like you see Arsenal going the distance in both competitions and then just how gutting it would be for them kind of again in the Premier League.
Well, why can't Arsenal win the double? Honestly.
They can. They absolutely can. But there's also a couple other teams that could as well.
This is very true.
So, it's going to be exciting this month in general. There's just so much football. And there's one team in particular that has control of the entire Premier League and who wins. And that is Tottenham Hotspur. Because your boys have to play back to back to back in this order: City, Arsenal, and then Liverpool. My question to you is, how much pressure is on Spurs just playing these 3 matches? Like, they're 3 extremely tough matches, but then also, where do you see Spurs getting points of these 3 games, if any? If any.
Well, okay, so Spurs will also have a lot riding on these matches because they're trying to crack the top 4.
They sure are.
So they're going to want to win these games not only to, I think when they look at the Arsenal match, to stop Arsenal from winning it, but it's for themselves. And I think that'll be their main goal and their main outlook on those matches. Do they play Liverpool at Anfield?
Yep.
Automatic L. So that's a loss.
Automatic.
I mean, and that's no disrespect to Spurs. Anybody who goes to Anfield, good luck getting a result. Especially when it comes to crunch time. In the run-in,
no chance.
Jurgen Klopp's, farewell tour.
Yeah.
Them pushing for the title. It's going to be near impossible to beat Liverpool at Anfield. And then City and Arsenal are both at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. North London derby, who knows? I mean, throw form out the window. They drew 2-2 earlier this season. Against City, Spurs, for whatever reason, have Pep's number. They really do. But it's coming at a time in the season where Man City do their best work. Outside of Liverpool game, I don't know what's going to happen between City and Spurs and Arsenal and Tottenham. But I will say this, Tottenham haven't lost to any of those teams this season. You had the controversial one against Liverpool. They beat City, I believe, and they drew Arsenal 2-2.
I thought they hadn't beaten any of these teams from what I remember.
No, they beat Liverpool in the season.
Okay, hold on.
Do you remember the Luis Diaz goal that was disallowed?
Oh,
that whole controversy?
So they drew City 3-3.
That's what it was. They drew 3-3 and they drew Arsenal 2-2.
They beat Liverpool. Liverpool got that red.
Yeah.
And then Arsenal
2-2.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, when Spurs play those types of teams that dominate possession and play an expansive, open style of football, it suits the way Spurs play. When Spurs play teams with a low block, they struggle, and they've been sussed out that way. And we saw it the other night against West Ham.
Yeah. Oh, that early goal, you knew right away.
Yeah, those games are going to be incredible. I mean, that North London derby is basically a final.
Yeah.
It really is.
No, it's going to be there's so much
because that can really determine who wins the Premier League, or at least could put Arsenal in pole position depending on the form they go into in that game, and could determine top 4 for Spurs.
Yeah,
there's a lot riding on those matches.
As much as the top 3 is so exciting and everyone's paying attention to it, that fight for 4th right now between Spurs and Villa until the end of the season is so good. And the funniest thing about it is that whoever finishes 5th still might get a Champions League position, but we will not know until the seasons are all finished. So obviously you have to go for that top 4 spot, but both Spurs and Villa have really difficult schedules, both of them.
Yeah.
Spurs, I think, is arguably a little bit worse. They still have to play all 3, but it's going to be so much fun. And Ange has got a big ride ahead of him.
Yeah, he gets it. Who do you think wins it? Who takes the title?
As of today, I'm still saying City.
Yeah,
I am. I really, and I kept saying this last year too. I really want Arsenal to win just for the change. I know you're a Spurs fan, but I would love to see a team that isn't City or Liverpool or Chelsea, just back to switching it up. I think as a neutral fan, that's the best thing for the league. And I know a lot of people want Liverpool to win, the Klopp story. There's obviously an argument for that there as well. There's arguments for everything, because I think I was telling James this, but if whoever wins this Premier League it's going to be one of the most memorable Premier League wins for whatever reason, because Pep is going for 4 in a row, which has never been done. Liverpool with the Klopp sayonara, the nostalgia, the romantic story there, that is going to be amazing if Klopp announces his departure and then Liverpool win the league and it's all beautiful and we're crying. And if Arsenal win, Arsenal beat a City who are going for 4 in a row and stop Pep from doing that, which is incredible. And then Liverpool, who have been incredible this season, and with the whole Klopp story, for them, that would be such a big win, because they're really for me, this is one of the most exciting Premier Leagues there's been in a while. And every single one of them have such a good story if they win. I still have to back City though, just because of it's City. And I think it comes down to their bench and their roster and who they have, because we always talk about the guys on the bench are still phenomenal. That's just who City is. I think when it comes down to fitness and playing these games, they just have a bit of a wider selection of top tier players.
City have the depth for sure.
Exactly.
But I hope it comes down to the final day.
And we're all just gonna.
Maybe we'll get another Aguero. You never know. It could happen. It could happen.
Oh my god!
But for the first time in a long time, it's a true 3-horse race. Yeah. I don't remember the last time that was. I can't think of it. It's always been 2. For a long time, it's been 2.
Good.
It's been Liverpool City.
Yeah.